Okay, so first let's turn the heater on so we don't freeze to death. Today is kind of an important day because I finally found the matching spindle for the original one. My previous spindle got damaged, got bent. So what I'm gonna do with these spindles right now is I'm gonna clean them up real good because this one obviously has some surface rust on it, and this one has some cheap primer that I put on there just temporary. And I'm gonna wire wheel them, and after that I'm gonna epoxy primer them, and basically they're gonna be ready to go on the car. And with that being said, I'm gonna get changed and get to work. Okay, so quick change of plans. I decided to sandblast them instead of wire brushing, and after that I applied some epoxy, and now we will get them ready to get on the car. Actually, before I even start mounting up the front suspension and getting these spindles on, I need to take these bolts to the sandblast, get them real cleaned, and then epoxy primer them. Basically these are the bolts that hold the fenders, the grille, the valance, all that good stuff. I got most of these organized in zip bags with tags on them, but I still have a few miscellaneous parts here and there that I don't know where they go at the moment, but there's no big deal. I just figure that as I go. I didn't have enough time to also paint these bolts, but at least I got them sandblasted. So all I need to do right now is find some time these days to hit them with some primer and then some paint. But meanwhile, I also got some painting supplies because I am going to paint the engine compartment. So let me show you what I got. Masking tape, some nitro reducer to clean up the gun, some guide coat, here we have some filler primer, and with the hardener and the reducer, here we have some Scotch Brights, we have some, I believe this is, yeah, 220 grit. Here we have 500 and 600, and just some pads to help us along. This one is 120 and this one is 220. The first step will be to sand it with some 120 and 220, and after that I'm gonna use the filler primer. I think 3 coats should be enough. And after that I'm gonna apply some guide coat and sand it again with some 500 and 600, and that should get it ready for paint. Two coats of primer and 2 coats of paint, and they are done. We have the engine compartment here. I went ahead and applied some guide coat. You would normally use this on the exterior panels of the car just to get them as straight as possible, but this is just gonna help me see the areas where I need to sand more. So what I'm gonna do now is I am gonna mask this whole front end because I am gonna make a mess, and I'm gonna get changed and get to sanding. Also, I'm gonna put my dust mask on and let's do this. finished sanding the engine compartment, and as you can see there are a few places where I sanded through and you can see metal, but there's no problem. I'll just hit it with one more coat of epoxy, and after that 2 coats of filler primer, and sand it one more time, and it should be ready for paint. So I started masking off all of the areas where I'm going to be spraying, and even all the holes. And I said I was thinking of doing one pre-coat of epoxy because there are some places where I hit metal, but I don't think that I'm gonna be doing that anymore because this is an epoxy based primer surfacer, so that should be fine. Now let's get all these holes masked and let's get ready to spray. This masking process took me about 2 hours, but you know what they say, if you want to do a good job you must take the time and do it. So this is ready, so I'm gonna go ahead and degrease it and get the spraying. Okay, so the primer went on really decent, I say. I did get a few runs in it, but they can easily be sanded out. I also went ahead and applied some guide coat. Now I'm gonna leave this to sit about 2 days. I also have the heater here. And after that I'm gonna sand it all again and get it ready for paint. Okay, so it is unmasked, it turned out great. I actually ended up doing what I initially said I was gonna do, meaning applying 1 coat of epoxy primer before the paint to take care of all these areas where I sanded through and I hit metal, especially on the edges here. Next, what I'm about to do, I think I'm gonna move to the back of the car and take care of the trunk lid, because it needs a reskin. So I guess this is it for this month. I didn't really think about how I'm gonna structure these videos because I'm kind of doing a little bit of everything because I also have work and all that. Also, if you liked it, you can hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more of this coming. As you can see, there is more of it coming. So see you next month. Bye.